Hey YouTube, it's Zyloc with Media Hindsight. It's October 7th. We got 11 days until the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And today I wanted to take a look at a game called Ghost Manor for the Atari 2600. Pretty non-traditional Atari game, if you will. It's kind of crazy. It's got lots of ideas from other games that it tries to combine into one game that's supposed to be horror-based, and it's actually pretty interesting. Doesn't all completely work. It's got a lot of ideas, and they're not completely fleshed out, but it's no reason for you not to experience a game like this. And it's made by, I think it's Zonox, Z-O-N-O-X, and it came out in 1983. So let's take a look, see how good it is. Ghost Manor starts off by giving the player control of one of two levers, and it is your goal to rescue the other from the topmost chamber of Ghost Manor. To do this, the player must pass several different trials within a 4-minute time period. Most Atari 2600 games offer one form of solid gameplay and then generally stick to it. Ghost Manor's trials are all different. This is both a strength and a weakness though. Having several different game styles to play with breaks the game up nicely though. For example, Stage 1 has players chasing a ghost through the graveyard and playing tag with it. Stage 2 is a Space Invaders inspired shooter level, and Stages 3 through 5 are top-down view mazes and a battle against the final boss. There's clearly a lot of variety here, and it's certainly fun to see what else the game has to offer, but in retrospective, most levels have some sort of limitation holding them back. Level 1 starts the player off in the graveyard, and the player must tag a ghost 25 times, which moves in the same zigzag pattern each time, and once you figure this out, there's really little if any challenge to speak of. Level 2 is the only stage that I can say feels just about right, and I can't find any faults in it really. Your goal is to throw spears at all the enemies flying across the screen, and then finally attack the axe-wielding giant at the bottom to gain entry into the manor. This controls wonderfully, is challenging, and is by far the highlight of the experience. Stage 3 and 4 are both maze-like levels that must be explored while avoiding the moving death wall that goes from side to side. While you can just dart for the next staircase, the player should pilfer each coffin along the way in search of crosses that are used during the final boss encounter. These two particular levels are very interesting depending upon the difficulty chosen. On easier difficulties, the entire floor is visible and you can navigate at your leisure. Higher difficulties make the levels dark until lightning strikes, so you must use these precious seconds to navigate and avoid traps. My biggest complaint is how easily the character will get stuck on the surroundings. Sometimes they get stuck on the edge and I just have to mash the joystick and hope that I got free. Many frustrating game over screens were seen because of this. Level 5 finds the player in the prison atop the manor. It's just you, a dark figure that's apparently Dracula, and your trapped lever. To defeat Dracula, the player must use the collected crosses from the previous levels to repel him into his own cell and then escape with their betrothed in hand. This final battle is one of the most frustrating I've ever experienced in gaming. First of all, I had no idea what to do, so I figured I'd just run past Dracula and be the savior. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Okay, how about walking up to Dracula and hitting a button? Maybe I can attack or throw one of those spears from earlier. Nope. If you try that, you're going to die and have to start the game all the way over. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that getting hit by a single enemy or trap will send you right back to the beginning of the game, so I hope you enjoyed playing tag. So it turns out that the only way to do anything to Dracula is collect crosses in the previous levels. Get underneath him and hold the fire button to repel him. Hopefully into the cell and on the right side of the screen. But this is really difficult, and each cross only works for a few seconds. It always seemed like my crosses would just randomly run out without me knowing it, and I'd die. This part is really frustrating, no fun, and kind of a sore ending to a pretty decent game. Aside from gameplay, the game looks fantastic, and the varied locales, atmospheric music, and sound effects are actually eerie. The visuals, from environmental details to lightning effects, really do capture the mood of what it means to be in a horror game. For a game of this era, that's a huge accomplishment, and it should be commended for it. And there you guys have it. That's Ghost Manor for the Atari 2600. Today I'm going to have to give it a 70 out of 100. It's a good game. It's rough around the edges a little bit, but you know what? It tried different stuff, and for the most part, I'd say it succeeded. And the special effects and the audio is fantastic, and it definitely had that horror vibe that I was looking for when I was doing these reviews. And I think it's about the only game so far that I've actually reviewed over the last week that I thought actually captured that on the Atari. So that's really cool. And then another fun fact about it is one of several games that came out on, they're called, I think it's double-ender cartridges, where there's a game on each side and you flip it over and plug it into the system. It's 2 games in one, which is interesting. I didn't even know they released those for the Atari. So look into that, but there is Ghost Manor on its own cartridge as well. So whatever copy you find, definitely give Ghost Manor a shot. It is a good game and it is worth your time. And as always, I'm Zyloc with Media Hindsight, signing out.